Battle of the Network shows. Join Rick Brooks and Mike Kogel as they explore the TV of the 70s and 80s through hand-picked episodes of their favorite and not-so-favorite series.
Welcome to another Battle of the Network shows bonus episode, and I'm back on the hot seat with another Fame game.
That's right, the Fame game, where I have prepared some clues about a persona, an individual, if you will, from the 1970s or 1980s television era, and we're going to reveal the clues one at a time. Mike, as you may recall, after each clue you have the option to take a guess, or just say pass. If you say pass, you will not be penalized for not taking a guess, but you'll also miss out on the prize you would win.
What would be the prize?
Let's just wait and see if you actually guess it right, and then we'll go for the prize.
Any consolation prizes?
There's always consolation prizes.
Okay.
The consolation of a game well played is chief among those.
Yeah, but I could go for some Archer cookies.
Some Archer cookies. How about a Armana range?
That's quite a consolation prize.
Well,
I don't really need one, but
Well, the thing is, though, it's about 45 years old, so it wouldn't work, and you'd have to pay to get it hauled over here. But
it might work. I mean, we're living in the age of planned obsolescence now, whereas that might still work.
Well,
is it a radar range?
Yes, it is, in fact.
Okay.
I'm sure it's entirely safe in this condition, too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we've set up the parameters of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're about ready to play.
All right. And we're going to make sure the Bobby and the BOTNS orchestra are ready.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yep, and they'll start playing when you begin the game. Okay.
They'll start playing when I reveal the first clue, and that starts now. I was born in 1939.
Pass.
I was born in the Pacific Northwest and raised in the West.
Grant Goodeve.
Not Grant Goodeve. Excellent guess, though.
I don't think he's quite that old.
Not quite. That is a pretty good guess.
He's not 79 years
No. All right. Before appearing regularly on TV, I went to Northwestern University, where I was kicked out for a year for owning and operating a car without a license.
Ooh. Pass.
I was involved with the written word for several years.
Pass.
I was a fixture on one network during the Battle of the Network shows era, but then moved on to other outlets.
Pass.
I'm especially known for working with partners.
No, pass.
Rick's uncle met me one time and later said I had a handshake like a cold fish. That narrows it down.
Hey, pass.
I am known for live television.
Oh. Live television. Okay.
I rang in the new year at the end of 1986 into 1987 by hosting Happy New Year America. Happy New Year America.
I want to say Dick Clark, but that's...
No, not Dick Clark. Excellent guess.
He's from Philadelphia.
I appeared in coverage of some of the biggest events in history, but am now retired from broadcasting.
Zelig.
Not Zelig. Not Zelig. The 10th clue. I have an affinity for making veiled references to point spreads on the air.
Brent Musburger.
Brent Musburger is correct. Yes! You have won the Fame game. Excellent. I think you deserve that, Armana range. You earned it. Wow. Good call. We'll celebrate our Mike's victory in a minute, but before we do, there's several clues that we did not get to. I was a part of at least one fun team. reportedly got into a fist fight with Jimmy the Greek in 1980. And I was the host of NFL Today on CBS for many years.
Any of those, I would have gotten it.
That's good. I
Yeah.
think the structure of the clues worked out well then. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Very well done. Brent Musburger
Yeah.
was the subject of today's fame game.
Yes, the other member of his fun team, of course, Coach Dick Vermeil, former coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. And those guys had a good time when they were on the road
They certainly
broadcasting.
did. They certainly did.
So he's
on the air.
Brent is retired now.
Yes, he's actually based in Las Vegas, and he's got a gambling endeavor, like some kind of radio network / podcast thing he does. I think he's on satellite radio.
So he's not even doing the Little League World Series.
No, he was kind of being eased out of some of his bigger, high-profile duties at ESPN, and
Yeah.
he decided to start this or join in this venture that I think one of his sons started up, and he's doing that full time now.
Wow. So in retrospect, a few of the other clues are, the one network, then another network.
Right, he was CBS is when we were growing up. He was big on CBS.
He was.
I didn't remember him hosting that New Year's special, but the Happy New Year America he did that for 1 year, and he was a fixture of NBA Finals coverage, and of course NFL Today was his most famous thing, but did lots of events, Major League Baseball, and then moved over to ABC and ESPN for almost maybe even a longer time. But yeah, he was during the 70s and 80s. He was for a while the voice of CBS Sports.
Yeah, I was very entertained when I was watching the first season of Brockmire, and they made a couple Musburger references.
Yeah, Brent Musburger. I think anybody that grew up in the era would have some kind of strong memory of Brent Musburger.
Yeah,
he was a kind of a divisive figure as a broadcaster, I would say.
He wasn't popular in my house.
Yeah,
I came to enjoy it more as in retrospect.
Yeah, he really had kind of a second career when he moved in and doing the games with Dick Vermeil, and worked his way up to becoming like the #1 college football guy at ESPN, which is an interesting achievement, considering he sort of went down a little bit and took a step back when he got fired from CBS.
And was there controversy when he got fired? I don't remember.
I think it was, as I recall, it was a huge shock at the time.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have things leak out ahead of time, or nowadays they would probably do it a little smoother, but I think I remember that being like a huge story and thinking, what? They got rid of Brent Musburger?
Yeah. Wow.
But I don't think it was anything like he
got into trouble or something.
Yeah, or got caught doing something wrong. It was just,
Right,
they just went in a different direction.
I mean, really, that show, their morning or pre-football show was kind of the beginning of that, right?
Yeah. It was, and arguably the premier one. They had the NFC package, and NBC, of course, had their version too, and you had like Bob Costas hosting that for a while.
Right.
But the classic one you think of is that lineup of Brent Musburger, Jimmy the Greek, Irv Cross.
Right.
They had some other people throughout the years, but I'd love to see old episodes of that.
Yeah.
And every now and then you'll see footage of those show up on YouTube or something, and it's entertaining to watch. And they were doing it in a half hour. Nowadays, you've got like 90-minute pregame shows. But
Yeah. I mean, I don't really watch football, but anytime I see even a little bit of those pregame shows now, I don't like it's 8 guys and they're like playing games and standing around on fake football fields
and I know they had formats then, but it's more it's more stage managed now and more scripted.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, I mean, you really did think it was kind of freewheeling.
Right. And yet they're trying to make it seem freewheeling.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's more phony.
Loose cannons like Deion Sanders, and it just doesn't appeal to. In the same way that like you see certain like news programs and like political programs, and again you have like this spread of like 8 people, and like there's just too many people.
Right.
You just need 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. The NFL
with
today kept
defined
it simpler.
jobs.
Yeah. And
Brent gave you the most of it. Jimmy the Greek gave you the odds.
Yeah, you had the ex-jock was Irv Cross to give the player's perspective, and then
They usually had a woman. Right?
you'd have different, like Phyllis George, I guess,
Yeah.
or I mean, that was a show that worked for many years, and love him or hate him, Brent Musburger was certainly a sports broadcasting icon for many years, and congrats again to you for figuring out his identity.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I could use a good Musburger right now.
Yeah.
Kind of hungry.
It sounds pretty good. Or, as Brent often said, as he said one time when he was doing a game with Dick Vermeil, folks, nothing beats, you just can't beat pizza on a college campus.
There you go, another fame game. I'm 50-50. Batting 500.
Yeah, I would have laid 3-1 odds that you wouldn't have done that, but...
Somebody lost some money.
Battle of the Network Shows, the podcast that celebrates the television of the 1970s and 80s. The podcast that spent 30 minutes on a 30-second beer commercial. The podcast that once and for all answered the question, Roper or Furley. The podcast that dared to say, Chips is not a terrible show. The podcast that gave Dick Van Patten a hip, new nickname. Now brings you something they've never dared before. Season 4. You won't believe what happens next.
Like we talk about some TV shows and stuff?
That sounds about right.
More of the same.
And hopefully some Robert Pine.
Yeah, maybe some TVP.
Or both.
Whoa. Battle of the Network Show Season 4 premieres Thursday, May 10th.
Line reading again?
And hopefully some Robert Pine.
Okay. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Battle of the Network Shows. Learn more, leave feedback, and suggest future episodes at battleofthenetworkshows.com. Follow us on Twitter at BatNetShows and like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Battle of the Network Shows.